Hello everybody, Generally Collie here with my Game 6 review of the Quebec Pokemon League's Draft VGC League. It was against LydzTm8's team. LydzTm8 does not have a team or a logo, team name or a logo, so we'll just go with the information that I have. But without further ado, this is the team that she has. So it's mostly based off of Gigantamax Lapras' attack, which sets up Aurora Veil when it does it. G-Max Resonance, great move. Fantastic Pokemon to build around. What's great about it is that Aurora Veil acts like Reflect and Light Screen at the same time. So for 5 turns, your Pokemon are basically taking half damage from all attacks. Cinderace, as we all know, is a fantastic VGC Pokemon since it has Libero as an ability. We've discussed it in previous videos before, changes type whenever it does an attack. Raikou was a swap that she did from Zapdos, Galarian Zapdos to Raikou. I like the choice. Honestly, I like the choice because Raikou has the Volt Absorb, also has Inner Focus. Great electric type Pokemon to use. It hits pretty well. Umbreon is a solid defensive wall. Can be used to be an annoyance, or it can be used to grind games out, especially if you're going up against a slower team. Thwackey, pretty much Eviolite Rillaboom. It doesn't hit hard like Rillaboom, but it offers the defensive bulk with Eviolite. Still has Grassy Surge as an ability, still access to Fake Out, and all those other great moves like Grassy Glide and all that stuff. Xatu, I think, is more of a Trick Room Pokemon. Also, it is a Flying type and a Psychic type. Landorus Therian, probably the best VGC Mon of all time. You can have so many diverse sets with it. Fantastic Pokemon, Swords Dance set. You can run a Choice Scarf set, Choice Band set, Assault Vest. You can even run pretty much a special attacking set. Landorus Therian also has Intimidate as an ability. This is why it's the best VGC Pokemon. At one point, it was on every single team that topped, or even 80 percentile and up. So Landorus Therian was a Pokemon that I had to be afraid of since it is also a ground flying type. It does take times 4 damage to ice attacks, but it one-shots pretty much my Toxtricity or deals a hefty amount of damage to my Incineroar. Clefable can be a good bulky wall. Not really too... I'm not saying I'm not afraid of it, but it's also not that difficult to handle. You have to be really careful with it, but especially I think it does get access to Unaware. Musharna is another Trick Room setter, also can be defensive. And Galarian Rapidash is a Fairy type, so that's still something to worry about if you carry a lot of dragons on your team. But it's used as a backup option. I don't think this is Lydzia's main choice. So without further ado, I'm going to swap over to the replay of the game as I unblock it. See, I'm doing this, trying to make it more fluid. Let me know what you think. As you see the trainer cards here. Let me know if you actually like the fluidity of it. So Lydzia leads off with Lapras Umbreon, which is basically a typical lead because Umbreon is a defensive Pokemon. Why is my green screen messing up? Defensive Pokemon, while Lapras can set up the Aurora Veil with Max Resonance. I think it's better. I think that fixed things up. So as you can see, she went straight for the Dynamax, which is pretty much what most of the matches I've seen my opponents do. I'm not afraid of it too much. I prepared well for it. I led Suicune and Klefki because I knew the best way to handle a screen setter is to bring your own screen setter. So Light Screen sets up special defenses for both my Pokemon. I went for a Calm Mind setup with Suicune because I want to bulk it up, and it doesn't seem like she has an answer for Suicune yet. But what happens here is kind of worrisome. So Max Geyser comes through. It's going to do a hefty amount of damage to my Klefki, but because I have the Light Screen up, sucks it up pretty well. What is annoying that I wasn't prepped for was Umbreon's Yawn. Now Yawn, in case you don't know, pretty much makes a Pokemon fall asleep the turn afterwards. So you're kind of forcing a swap. So with Klefki's Prankster, I did Thunder Wave on Lapras so I can get speed control and hopefully maybe steal a turn or two while it's Dynamax to Paralysis. In the Rain Scald, +1 special attack, Umbreon took that like a champion. So Umbreon's Iron Tail, good amount to Klefki, but not enough to even do any damage. Basically, Lydia feels like Klefki's a big threat as she targets it with another Max Geyser. It still holds on, so it gives me a chance to set up Reflect. Suicune fell asleep, as you saw there. Now that I have pretty much defenses for both physical and special attacks, just in case, I kept Suicune in there because I'm not too worried. There's no answer for Suicune yet. Moonlight was something that I was hoping not to see, but it's there. So Moonlight heals up Umbreon, pretty much brings it back to a tank here itself. And here comes G-Max Resonance to set up the Aurora Veil for Lydzia's team and knocking out the Klefki in the process. Klefki did its job. It set up screens, it paralyzed their Gigantamax Pokemon. So I'm not too sad that it's gone. What only sucks is that in the differentials it makes a difference, but at the end of the day, W's are worth more than differentials. Differentials are only tiebreaker. So I went Toxtricity here because, like I said, there's no threats to it yet. If I'm not mistaken, I Dynamaxed right away, which I did, as you can see right here, because I felt I was in a comfortable spot. I knew Suicune was going to wake up sooner or later, so when I woke up, I was ready to double team Pokemon. I did not target the Lapras right away, if I recall correctly, because just in case it had weakness policy or anything like that, I did not want to give Lydzia a chance to come back into the game by triggering the weakness policy. So I targeted her partner Pokemon, which was Umbreon. Suicune with a clutch wake up here, comes with Scald in the rain. I know it's not going to do as much as we saw previously. It got the burn though, which is very nice to see. G-Max Stun Shock. The only unfortunate thing though is that with G-Max Stun Shock, Umbreon's not going to get poisoned or paralyzed because it's already burnt, and Lapras is already paralyzed, so I don't get much effectiveness from it. I went with that attack because I was certain that it wasn't going to get the burn, but it did. So in that case, I would have went for the D-Max Poison, D-Max Poison, so that I can actually get a special attack boost on Suicune. So that's what I did in this follow-up turn. Suicune with the Scald does some more damage to it. I got the crit. Was not expecting the crit. I'll take it. We take those. We'll take the crits. Suicune's been my MVP so far this season. It's been doing very well. Max Ooze is coming through. Basically, it's going to boost the special attack of all my Pokemon on the field, which is my Suicune and my Toxtricity. +1 special attack boost is fantastic because now my Suicune's at +2 special attack with +1 special defense. And also I have the light screen set up. I'm pretty much in a good defensive position. As you see, my Suicune just take almost no damage there from Freeze Dry. Usually that's a scary move because it's a stab from Lapras, same type attack bonus. And Freeze Dry is a move that does super effective damage to water type Pokemon. So Toxtricity falls asleep there because of the yawn from the Umbreon, which is a clever move. Here's where it gets scary. Landorus comes out, and as I said before, Landorus is a ground type that does times 4 damage to poison electric types. Intimidate's not so good here because they're both special attackers, so I need to protect Toxtricity. But I made a mistake. Toxtricity still has Air Balloon, so it's not affected by ground type moves. I sent in Incineroar, and if I would have kept in Toxtricity, Earth Power would do nothing because Air Balloon makes it immune. And I wouldn't have taken any damage here on my Incineroar. So this shows that it's a special attack set. That's why I swapped in Incineroar, because I thought it was a physical attacker, because Landorus Therian usually is a physical attacker, but ended up being a special attacker. But it's okay. Ice Beam times 4 damage. We take those, get the knockout on Landorus. That's a very, very big Pokemon out of her team lineup. Thunderbolt coming in here, hopefully to do more damage than a Freeze Dry. It almost does not. So Suicune basically showing why it's so good. It's got 2 KOs this game. And then comes Raikou. Raikou is basically Lydzia's answer for Suicune, which is a very good answer. I fake out the Raikou, but I forgot that it has Inner Focus as an ability, so it doesn't flinch. Aura Sphere is scary. Incineroar holds on, but this is where it gets even scarier. So I went with the Calm Mind because I wanted to get a little bit greedy, get 3 times special attack, 2 times special defense, since I knew Light Screen was coming out soon. But I should have went for Tailwind for speed control. But this is where it got scary. Hydro Pump comes through on the Incineroar. It is a special defensive set. I won't give out details because it's the league, but it holds on, eats the berry, recovers very well. I'm able to kind of pivot it afterwards in the next turn. That's why I wanted to go for the Tailwind, so I can quickly pivot it out with a parting shot rather than hope for it to live. Thankfully, it lived from the extreme speed. I think it was probably a misclick. Scald comes through. Doesn't do as much as I hoped it did. Footage cut there for some reason. But at parting shot, the Lapras and Toxtricity came in. It sucked up the Hydro Pump, which I knew was coming towards Incineroar fairly well, but the Air Balloon's popped now. So now Toxtricity is vulnerable to ground type moves. But I don't think either Pokemon here carries it. So there was my Light Screen, so now they're not super defensive against special attacks. Thunder got through without Rain, which is impressive because I think it's 80 or 70%. It got the Paralysis, and that hurts. And Suicune, unfortunately here, is paralyzed, can't attack. So I just lost a turn from Sleep and Paralysis, and Lapras got the Life Dew off, healing both Pokemon. And I thought this was probably the turning point for Lydzia, because I lost basically Klefki. I have Pokemon's paralyzed, Pokemon's asleep, and I have Incineroar in the back, which is terrible, versus Lapras. So, Raikou could still do a good amount of it. It's like at a half health, my Incineroar. So, Thunder hits again, and I'm starting to sweat. Suicune, though, +2 special defense, holds on. Toxtricity wakes up, Sludge Bombs the Raikou slot, trying to go for a good single target attack, because I didn't realize that it didn't have Volt Absorb as an ability. This game I had a lot of misplays, I found. I had quite a good amount of misplays, but still I have to hold on. This Paralysis basically pushed the game back into my complete favor. It allowed me to use Overdrive to get the attack off. Since it's its last Pokemon, to worry about Weakness Policy anymore. And it turns out it's not carrying Weakness Policy. So I had fear for no reason. But it does have Water Absorb as an ability, so my Scald, which was a big mistake on my part because I figured Ice Beam, Scald, let's go for the stab for more damage. It just sucks it up. Suicune eats up with leftovers, and Toxtricity finishes it off with Overdrive. Overall, I made some misplays, but it's a good 3-0 win. Bien joué Lydzia. Je pense que cette fois-là, j'avais pensé que je vais avoir perdu le match, but thankfully the Paralysis came in clutch. It's resetting because that's what it does, it loops. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Leave a comment down below if you like the more fluid change of just going from team preview straight to the matchup instead of like a transition. And also, if you haven't done it before, please subscribe to my channel. I enjoy doing these videos. I'm doing it for fun. Basically, I love talking Pokemon and playing Pokemon VGC. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos too. Take care.